I suppose identity is a question of consensus. I mean, okay, if you want to be a cat, as long as people agree to you being a cat, I don't know quite how you'd. You see, the thing is, you've got to manifest as a cat. I mean, it's all very well just sort of saying, well, I self-identify as a cat, but if you don't have any features of a cat, you know, you're not, you're not a little tiny furball on four legs meowing. I mean, people are going to presume initially that you're not a cat, that you're a person. It's only when you tell them that I identify as one and treat me as one. It's a bit tiring though. You'd probably have to go around with a bloody sign around your neck saying I identify as a cat, you know, because it's visual signals. You see, people look for visual signals. I mean, if you look like a bloody person, they'll treat you like a person. So you've got to do something that's sort of other than having to sort of constantly be saying it, which is what you have to do, because I presume the consensus is that you're a woman if you look like a bloody woman. So you'd have to have a sign on your neck saying, I might look like a woman, but I actually personally would like to be treated like a cat or like a man or whatever. And I'm not saying, well, I just wonder why they want to do that, for God's sake. I mean, why on earth where did you get the idea for feline? I mean, do you have feline feelings at birth? I feel catty. I mean, yeah. God only knows where these bloody people. I mean, I think they get it from other people. I mean, they don't just wake up one morning in a complete vacuum and then say, "Oh, I feel catty today." Right, from now on, I'm going to identify as a cat. I mean, they must get this idea from someone, some vague validation from others. Well, they must mix with other people who think like that, I suppose. Birds of a feather flock together. Well, we know that. So you gravitate towards people who agree with you. It's like people who read the Daily Telegraph. They don't read the bloody Guardian because they get furious. So it's just confirmation bias. So you'll knock about with catty people or whatever. Which, and then you get all sort of out of your comfort zone. And if you go on the tube or the bus and everyone's looking at you and they're seeing a, well, unless you're wearing your sign or a cat suit, they see what you were born as. Yeah, it's a funny one, that, really, what you were born as. And then you sort of start questioning what you were born as. I mean, what drives you to question what you were born as? I mean, you just don't like the role? I don't like being a woman. I don't like what society makes me do as a woman. I mean, what turns you sort of to thinking in a feline way? I don't suppose they do, really. I mean, how on earth could you even imagine what a cat feels like or whatever? I mean, they're just doing this sort of cat suit thing and sort of seems like, I'm not sure how much reality there is to the actual feelings that they have about. They're just playing a role. I mean, they're just dressed up as a cat and sort of generally annoying people or upsetting them. I mean, they're just probably attention-seeking people who can't get it through being a woman and decide that I suppose maybe they probably wouldn't. I just wonder how many attractive women want to be cats. I mean, women who actually attract interest from men. I mean, that's either good or bad, I mean, you know, but I bet there aren't very many really stunning looking women who want to be cats, who dress up as cats and identify as cats. They've probably exploited the fact that they're stunning looking women. They get enough attention that way. They don't have to dress up as a cat and start crawling around on all fours and meowing. Yeah, it's sort of weird. I don't know how people get these ideas. Well, they probably get them from someone else but you wonder if there's an agenda here of undermining. Well, we know there's an agenda to undermine the family, to undermine everything. So, I mean, I suppose it's one way of undermining the family by turning one of your kids into a sort of meowing, feline thinking. But, I mean, you'd fight a lot. Where would they get that from? School? they're contemporaries. I mean, who the hell's... Yeah, well, I mean, it's like all these... what are these people that turn up at libraries and at schools and give a good old talk about LGBT, XYZ? I mean, they're planting the idea, I suppose, and maybe reinforcing it. I don't know how it gets reinforced. I mean, as a kid, you can hear all sorts of things. You don't often you don't believe any of it, or you don't have to take it on board and sort of live the life of a cat. I mean, just because someone at school taught you that it was an option, I mean, I don't know. It has to be a deliberate policy of some sort, but the the reinforcing, there must be an agenda there to reinforce. It's weird the way parents seem to sort of accept it. I mean, but then parents, you see, the trouble with parents, I mean, I noticed that myself, that parents sort of want to be the friend of the child. They don't want to be the parent. They want to be its best mate, and so they give in to every damn thing. And they're all a bit pathetic in a way. Yes, this idea of parenting at the same level as the child, where, you know, you negotiate. Well, I don't know what they do to get them to, well, vaguely conform, go to bed at a reasonable time. I mean, how do you do that if you're not saying, right, bedtime is this, get on with it? You negotiate the bedtime, and you're the great friend rather than the parent. Yeah. I think that's one of the problems, is the role of the parent has been, well, not, yeah, it's been undermined, but then it's been taken on by you know, so many people in a supermarket. You'll see the kid behaving like a complete sort of brat, and the parent, I don't know, sometimes the parent is a bit shouty and probably gives them a good whack, but then they're just sort of out of control. I mean, yeah, there's much more of that sort of bad behaviour. Well, antisocial. I mean, you know, lots of people are sort of open-mouthed with this screaming brat who wants something, and the parent is sort of either trying to negotiate the child away from it, or is saying, no, you little swine, you can't have it. And there's an absolute tantrum. Yeah, that's another good one. Parenting.